Hello, David Zritsky for the Bond Experience. Welcome back. Okay, out bombing around town a little bit, and something occurred to me. You know, we talk a lot about things that go perfectly together when it comes to James Bond. We talk about James Bond and a vodka martini. They go perfectly together. We talk about chocolate and peanut butter, making a Reese's peanut butter cup. No, we don't. That has nothing to do with James Bond. But we do talk about watches and beautiful cars, their tools, their technology, and their artwork intertwined in one. And I can't think of a better discussion than to continue on with our good friends at Atelier Jalaper. That is a watch review that I did some time back where I talked about this incredible company that came together to bring a watch and a car and marry the two together. Yes, this is the watch that many of you went out, invested in, engaged with, and you're enjoying, that combines the bonnet of a DB5 and a beautiful watch. So it's not a watch to show off the DB5 Aston Martin bonnet. No, it's really the two of them coming together to enhance each other. And isn't that kind of Bondian in a way? So, you know, I dressed mostly in dark black. I've got Billy Reed. It's actually a Billy Reed cashmere polo. That's insane. The two of them coming together, strange, but unique. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you today because they sent me a new watch. They sent me a new watch, and this one is I want to get this right, so I'm going to cheat appropriately. It's the AJ002 -B. And what's different about this one, we'll get some close-ups of this. What's different about this one is this is coated in a PVD coating, which makes it a very stealthy black. Now, what is PVD, you're probably asking? Well, I looked it up, and PVD is a method that actually transfers metal particles. It puts them into a vacuum. It atomizes them. It crushes them and thrusts them onto another piece of metal and binds them. So think about when you have a coating, and it feels like almost like a plastic or a rubber, but it's not. It's actually atomized metal that binds to a rock hard, harder than rock hard finish. And so it's extremely durable. So when you see this on here and you think, oh, there's a plastic coating, it's not plastic. It's actually this PVD process, which is very sophisticated and frankly quite expensive. But they wanted to do it right because when you're dealing with investments and nice things, you want to make sure that they're taken care of, like this watch. But here's the thing, I wasn't going to just sit there and go over the size, the 40.5, or the feel. I'm going to be doing that. I wanted to actually test drive this watch. I didn't want to just sit here in my basement and talk about it. I wanted to test drive this and really put it through its paces and then talk to you about the experience, because to me it's not about just the stats. The stats are fine, you can read them online. In fact, there is the link below, go to it and you can read all the wonderful details, even how this was made and conceived, which is a fascinating journey and story. But how does the watch feel? I mean, this particular one is on a crocodile strap called the Dandy, but they also sent me an extra strap in the amazing box that this comes in, the leather that smells. This watch in and of itself, what's different about this is it has not just the date, it has at the very top of it, and I'll actually show it to you on here. Oh, nice close-up. It has the day of the week. So boy, if you have a busy schedule like I do and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't keep things straight, what day is it? Well, it kind of tells you. It's Monday, for example. It is the 16th when I'm filming this particular test drive, and there we go. And again, the beauty of the watch is very apparent, but we're going to do it in a very different way. Let's, well, first of all, let's go for a ride. So just as a reminder, the watches are the result of a combined expertise of Franco-Belgian entrepreneurial duo, a French designer, and a team of Swiss manufacturers. Very impressive. The Swiss craftsmen had to flatten the bonnet without compromising the original material, cut out 500 dials with the utmost precision in spite of the malleability of the aluminum, and obtain a result that could withstand the test of time. No small feat. So this AJ002B features an exact double complication with the day window at the 12 o'clock. You can see it right there. And the date window at the 3 o'clock. A beautiful black PVD finish puts the modern and alluring design of the watch in the spotlight, making it perfect to wear for any occasion. And by the way, the case is water resistant, happily, so when I say it could be used, it could be used. It's got the high grade 316L stainless steel with a black treatment like I talked about, but the back has an engraved and screwed back case with an open sapphire back, so you can see all the glorious detail. And away we go. So we've got the watch on right now. You can see it on my wrist. Hands firmly on the wheel. Somebody jogging in my neighborhood. Let's not hit the jogger because it tends to ruin your day. I'm just thinking out loud here. And I mean, they're my neighbor. So, all right, there we go. We got the roar of the engine. That note of the engine just makes me so happy. But that's the thing. That's the thing we want to kind of gravitate to right now, is that, you know, I've got the watch on right here. You can see it's very subtle. It's blending in with the ambiance, the atmosphere of the Aston Martin. By the way, I am driving a 2006, although you would never know it, it's in great shape, Aston Martin Vantage V8. And you can hear the throatiness of that V8 probably under and over my voice because it does tend to dominate. But that's the nice thing about this watch. My first kind of review aspect of this watch, it's subtle. You know, you've seen some very big watches, what I call have a lot of real estate. You know, they tend to, you know, sometimes watches wear you don't wear the watch. But this one is very subtle. I think a part of it is the subtle crocodile strap. But I think it's also the fact that it's steely black and it is stealthy. You know, it's kind of that, the PVD black coating just creates this thing where you don't see this sundial shine. You know, the last Atelier that I have, which I wear quite a bit, has that metal, steely kind of chrome look, which does tend to stand out. If you want something a little bit more subtle and yet poignant and yet classic, I'm really digging this. And I wore the color outfit that I did very much on purpose to kind of blend in with both the thorax seats of the Aston, the black leather, and there's 3 types of leather in the Aston. There's 1 type of suede, and you know, you get this wonderful leather smell, but you also have this sense that even though there's different colors, even though there's different textures in the Aston, it does blend in seamlessly together. And I'm getting that with this watch. There are different blacks. You got the crocodile strap, you've got the PVD coating, you've got the black of what looks like the front of an Aston Martin DB5 where it says Monday, for example, but they're all working together. And then you've got that pop, that DB5 silver, the chrome that I've talked so much about. And you know, that to me is everything, because if you wanted something to stand out in the watch, that's what you want to stand out. I mean, that's the part that says to the world, oh, you thought you were looking at a watch, beautiful watch, but a watch. Tisk, tisk, tisk. It's a DB5 bonnet that's been hammered flat, that's been purposely integrated together, and now we have a watch that works together well, like an Aston Martin. And by the way, this analogy, I hadn't pre-planned this, but the analogy is sound. You know, what I love about this vehicle, other than the fact that it's clearly a Bond vehicle, is how everything works together. You know, I feel like I'm a part of the machine because of the way the seats were developed and designed, the steering wheel, the way the dash looks, how everything is in hand. All of that works together perfectly. And I think what I'm digging about this watch in particular, and this watch, the 002-B, is that it all works together. The color, the integration, the function, and yes, the feel. So one thing I've got to talk about as I stop, look both ways, because you know what? The basics when driving, they're important, folks. Kids, take heed. School bus, go to school, learn, educate, and then maybe you can get one of these watches. So one of the things I did want to point out is the feel. This is very comfortable. Now, I've worn the brown strap in the last video. That is like the most broken in driving glove you can imagine. They also sent me a black version of that, which is a little bit more high gloss. This crocodile, I have to say, I think I would reserve it more for if I was dressing up in a blazer or a tuxedo or a suit. I don't think it would just be bombing around town. I would probably switch out one of the other bands. Well, certainly the band that came with it, the black sort of gloved one. I think that would be more appropriate in bombing around or cruising around town here. But this is really comfortable. Like, I'm telling you folks, I just took this out of the box and it's conforming already. And that's a good sign of good leather. I believe the leather, if I'm not incorrect, is made in France, or the strap is made in France. Skill sets, artisan expertise. It is a theme, if you haven't picked up on it, of all of this coming together. It's, you know, Belgium, it's France, it's all these different international artisans coming together to create one product that creates an experience. And that's what I'm feeling right now. It's this very experiential moment that I'm trying to, even though I'm doing a video on it, I'm trying not to overtly remember that I'm wearing this cool watch that has the essence of the DB5 associated with it. The essence, what are you saying, David? The very heart of the DB5. But here I am gravitating to it. And when I talk about kind of bondish moments or invisible moments of sartorial goodness, this is it. This is the capture of it. Now, I'm cheating. I'm in an Aston Martin doing this, and I'm talking to you, so, you know, everything's heightened. You know, how I'm thinking about this is heightened. But I can imagine very easily just going to work in this and forgetting for a moment of the relevance of what I have on my wrist and just making it a part of my everyday. And that to me is a sign of a winning formula. All right, that was great fun, and it's always my therapy. But you got a sense of kind of what the watch feels like in a real scenario. But that wasn't enough, because I wear my watches. I know, crazy. I crazy talk, crazy. I actually wear my watches. So I didn't want to just put it into a car or, you know, display it on a beautiful marble. No, I wanted to do just a tad more for you. And that is to really show you that I'm active in these types of watches. So it's not just dressing in a tuxedo, it's maybe even putting on a pair of, I don't know, sweatpants, workout gear, and going to do #Bon Fitness Challenge. Yeah, so this is a little stroll / walk / exercise / hike. Is there enough slashes in there? That Danielle and I took in a local wilderness park, a forest, if you will. Let's check this out. And there you have it. So you can see that this watch can transform, it can evolve, it can be in very different settings. It could be in the workplace, it could be on your wrist when you're wearing a tuxedo, in a car, any car, by the way, it doesn't have to be this car, and yes, even when you live your daily life. So one of the things I wanted to highlight is when you talk about a luxury item, sometimes people treat it with kid gloves. Sometimes people are saying, you know something, I'll keep it in the watch box. I'll take out my Atelier Jalaper for a very special occasion. That's not the Bond way. And you know, some people laugh about James Bond and that he's a bit abusive with his equipment, but he lives with his equipment. And part of owning a watch, a durable watch, is that it is part of your equipment. So live with it. Go out in the wild with it. Have fun with it. And obviously, no Mars, no bruises. That PVD coating is tough as nails, tough as a car like this. And so you're going to be fine with it. What I'm saying is bring it out into the world. All right. Well, listen, just wanted to talk about this. Love this new one. This is going to get a lot of wrist time. And thanks to the people at Atelier Jalapers, wonderful folks. They're fans like us. I know. They're like real humans, and it's a small business. So it's always nice to support small businesses and people that just stepped back for a moment and thought of things differently. Well, hey, listen, I'm going to go back in because sun's starting to come out. That means the car's got to come out, and I got to get back into my own mindset. So this has been David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience, and we'll see you all real soon. Take care. Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to be up on the latest from the Bond Experience, just click on this subscribe and subscribe to our channel. You're going to get all the latest and greatest information, plus some exclusive content. And by the way, speaking of content, here's something especially for you, just because we know you. Talk to you soon.